Go to theirs and then share. You can go to mine. You don't have to find it.
Old leather gloves, we're slapping in hams, popcorn and peanuts, we're working the stems, pink cotton candy, love on a stick, was chasing the beer, that circle the lips, play ball, play ball. Load up the bases and smack it right over the wall.
Play ball.
Play ball.
And good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Laughter Saves Lives.
Take off the caps.
Live!
Oh yes, I was sharing.
We're here at Strong Island Studios in Massapequa, New York, and Facebook Live. Back after a week of shows and Vertigo and all kinds of good stuff. Tonight on the air, we have the always handsome. He can't be on the phone right now.
I'm making sure we're sharing.
I'm kidding you.
We're only on
It's
the
John
air if we
Santo
share.
here. Look at them. He's a big Yankee fan.
It's adorned in.
And on the other side there, I'm looking at here.
Somebody got a deal in Modell's.
It's
That's
the
all I gotta
opposite.
say.
It's the opposite.
Somebody used their 10% Modell's.
He
as
bought me a
card.
hat too. That's the,
You
you
did?
know, I don't normally wear Met hats, but he's always buying me stuff.
Drives me nuts when you go to a game with him. And
He
doesn't
wants
have
me
a
to
hat.
wear all Met
Listen to
stuff.
me. That Met hat will ensure at least 20 minutes of stage
Yes,
time
and
over
if
the
you go
next.
down in the water, they can find you.
And we may have another
got
deal in the
arms.
works tonight, I hear. And Steve Alina's here.
Yes. Hello, folks. Good to see you again. Yeah, we had.
Steve, I don't know if they can see. We're not going to mention it. You got a black
He's got a
eye.
black eye.
I don't know if
We're
they.
gonna
I don't know if they can see it on here. So let's not
it's
bring it
either I
up.
haven't gotten a lot of sleep
Let's not bring it
or I
up.
started boxing again.
Oh, but a lot of people have been saying to us, "Why don't you have more women on the show?" We brought Christina Marie here tonight, my daughter.
Hello.
Because Pat Marone called me, Johnny, I've got a little paw problems. I got a little meatball cut in the tailpipe. So we
Everybody's
don't-
got the flu too. Epidemic.
Yeah, we don't know if Patty's going to be here, so I said, Patty,
Big flu.
don't stress it. If you can't make it, Christina Marie will fill in.
Christina's here.
If you see Christina get pulled out of the camera and Pat sit down, you know he's here.
You know who didn't get the flu? The very healthy President Donald Trump. Got a checkup.
No flu?
No flu.
Perfect
No
health.
flu.
Am I right?
No flu.
No flu.
How do you feel, Mr.
Because
Trump?
you know what? I defeated the flu. Came after me, but it lost big time, just like Hillary.
I actually heard you're taking Lunesta once a day,
Once a day.
Propecia
Absolutely.
once a
Propecia,
day,
all the
and
terrific-
Melania whenever she'll let you.
Yeah, exactly.
I got a gift
I
tonight.
crowbarred that joke in.
I got a gift tonight from
Crowbar.
Pat G here from the Massapequa Diner. A nice cup.
Oh,
And the reason I bring that up is we're hoping that when the Massapequa Diner sees this, we get them to sponsor the show. So the cup will be there. We'll mention the Massapequa Diner a few times.
What is
Delicious,
that called? Guild marketing?
That it's called
delicious
it's-
food.
Just the opposite, yeah. So I wanted to talk about a few things here before we get started. The guest tonight. So we're going to talk about the show the other night that John did. Christina ran it for me. I had the little Vertigo situation. I've had it a few times. In fact, my hat here is a few times in the last few months. And the show went well. We did it for the Johnny Mac Foundation, John McNamara Foundation. And my dad's going to be on today. Now, Dad is coming on. He's going to call in at about 8:10. All right. Sometimes he doesn't hear too well, so this could be interesting. He's going to call in and talk about. I'm used to the stories. I hear his stories a million times, and every
Right.
once in a while I go, people would be really interested in these stories about
Sure.
when he went away over to Germany, when
Yeah.
he enlisted, he didn't get drafted, whatever. So I said, you know what?
enlisted?
Yeah, he enlisted.
He didn't get drafted.
I just said that.
he's a real
That's what
man.
I didn't know that.
I said,
real
how'd you know?
man.
Yeah. So we'll let him. We'll talk to him about that. But I just always find his stories interesting about leaving your family, going away over to Europe, and this time. And I had a whole timeline written out about when World War II ended, Korean War,
1945.
maybe you can fill in the blanks.
I'll fill in
then.
the blanks.
When he went into the war, when he got married, and all that stuff, just to kind of give where our country was at when Giovanni LaRocchia.
Korean War.
Giovanni, no, he was after the when did the Korean War end?
53.
He went into 55.
Hey, if we get into it,
You're a military historian, right?
And we're gonna have Peter Bales on, by the way. You got
Peter
to be on the
Bales
show
is
then.
excellent.
My son wants to be on it too.
on that show, yeah.
Peter Bales is committed to being on, so that's gonna be a great show.
When is he on?
He's gonna. I'll give you the dates.
Listen, if we get into
You
it,
should come on D-Day.
He's coming on right before President's Day, I think, in February.
I'll
Perfect.
have all my presidents here.
Yep. So it's gonna be good. So anyway,
If we get into it with Kim Jong Un, we might have to call your dad back into action.
yes,
know?
yes, fly down to Hawaii.
He can do it. He can do it.
Speaking of Hawaii,
That Speak with Dinah is wonderful. Yes,
It is very good.
Hawaii, what happened there this week?
that's what I just said. Why would that's somebody hacked into that system? I think I don't want to get too deep
You think
into
it
it. I
was a
don't think
hack?
somebody pressed a
definitely
button.
think so.
I
Somebody
think
pressed
somebody
a
just made a
button.
mistake.
And 38 minutes later, they I don't know.
Well, it would take approximately that long for them to ascertain whether or not there was a global missile launch. And
Yeah, but the point is, it took them 38 minutes to set out it was a false alarm.
I wonder what it's
yeah,
like
but it
to.
would take, but for Pacific Command and NORAD to confirm. that there
Pacific
was
and
no-
Command, from what I understand, and NORAD would have made that phone call before that button was pressed. So they already knew it was a false alarm.
I heard it was Dog the Bounty Hunter. I don't know if that's true or not.
It was,
Imagine though.
it was McGarrett.
Think about
McGarrett.
like. Imagine like all the. What's it like to
Garrett
run?
didn't work fast enough.
You know, that's what I love about. We try not to
McGarrett,
get too
the
serious
5-0.
on this show, and every time we get off on a serious tangent, Steve brings it right back in.
Listen, we're talking about nuclear bombs. How much more serious
I
can you
think
get?
it was Dog the Bounty
But
Hunter.
seriously though, imagine like. What's it like to run from a nuclear missile with like a grass skirt, and no shoes
Well, yeah,
on?
you know what? Though, can I just say something about that? Because a lot of people think in these absolutes, and I see
Yeah.
a lot of it on Facebook. Like, oh, what's the difference if the bomb goes off, you're dead? No. Only the first, depending on the size of the device and where it hits, only the first quarter to half a mile is vaporized. After
Ah.
that, the damage subsides. So you could be, if you're assuming they're going to hit Honolulu on the money,
but isn't
they
the
may be
air
off by
affected?
10 miles.
I wanna be
That's
close.
called.
Isn't the air affected?
No, I'm talking about the initial blast. You could be at the point where there's only flying glass and minor debris.
You've been
You
playing
wanna
Call
be
of Duty.
protected
You've
by
been
that.
playing Call of Duty
Comedy.
too much.
No, I have a background. in
Comedy,
this.
comedy.
I want to be close enough just to get a nice tan. That's all I want to do. You know?
So anyway,
They may not hit what they're aiming for, is what I'm saying. If they're aiming at Pearl Harbor, if they go 10 miles off, you might be okay.
I got you, and that's funny. And that's a funny. Yes.
I like
Can we,
this-
can we get us a picture of the Enola Gay?
No, it's nice.
Let's put up.
Isn't that like
you know,
starting a
let's-
show at Nuclear Armageddon?
Yes.
That's good.
Let's put up the
I'm
flyers
sorry.
of the shows that are coming up.
Yeah.
Probably one at a time.
Yeah.
Let's throw them up there. The first show. This is going to be a great night. Everything Special Needs. It's the first time we're working with this charity. We're running this show with them. Like sometimes people hire us to do a show. I took a liking to this charity 2 years ago. My daughter had a drama fundraiser at school. We spoke to these guys. This is going to be a great night in Lynbrook at the VFW Hall.
That's a hell of a lineup.
It's a great
too.
lineup.
Good lineup.
Yeah.
Good lineup. And Consoli's in the middle. Now, here's the deal. Consoli's not going to headline. You notice it doesn't say headliner? We're just teasing him right now. We made his face bigger, and then the week before, we're going to change the flyer.
Why?
Just to bust his balls because he's a wonderful guy.
Okay.
He's just a wonderful guy.
He's a
No,
phenomenal headliner.
He is. He is headlining. He's going to headline the show. And then we also have our big show coming up in the city, March 28th. We're working with the FDNY cancer nurses, fired up against cancer, I think they're called. We're doing the show at Gotham. We have some secrets yet. We don't know exactly who's going to be on the show because we have some ticklers. We may be getting somebody very big, so I can't say anything yet. And we also have Steve
Big Lee.
Oliva.
Big Lee. Thank
Steve
you.
Oliva's picture is
Guys,
right behind Amy Freeze.
That's right.
We
And
have
I'm
an
very
update from
short.
Facebook.
What?
We have
Yes.
an update.
Yes.
So far,
Yes.
Tony can't find the studio.
Oh, good.
boy.
Tell him to walk around to the right side of the building, past the pizzeria. We're sending somebody out from. All right,
Okay.
past the pizzeria. Our first guest, second guest can't find the studio. He's probably walking, but
It's right near the CVS. Go through the parking lot. Pick me up some
Nothing
unsalted almonds while you're there, and
nothing
come
like
around the
giving
corner.
directions on the air.
That's awesome that we can do that. I
Yes,
can't
'cause
find
we're
you.
laid back.
Oh, now he said he's outside.
All right, good. Vertigo, nasty. Vertigo, very nasty. I've
Bad.
had 2 episodes. But here's the funny thing about it. You made fun of me. I watched the show again last week. I was watching it.
I made fun of Vertigo.
You made fun of my Vertigo. You
did.
said, who gets that anymore?
That's actually. I mean, I didn't listen.
But I didn't hear it on the
Seriously,
air. I watched
seriously.
it, and I noticed that you gave me a little dig.
When did you do
I
this?
apologize.
You don't have to apologize.
You're not going
I
to come
laughed
down with the Black Plague next week, are you? Or some sort of medieval.
It is.
John ate some bed and button. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, John.
It is really
I'm sorry.
nasty. But I was watching some videos.
I deserve to get punched in the face for that.
I was watching some videos online, and in the middle of an episode, when your head is spinning, they want you to do all these exercises where you're spinning your head, you're doing like almost a somersault to reset the crystals.
Yeah.
It's crazy. I'm just about puking already. So it's
They want you to do that?
yeah. Well, that's what they're saying now. They
Go
want
to happy hour. It'll
You need
happen
to
in
go on
about
that
2 hours.
The gyroscopic trainer that NASA uses.
Oh, okay. That's to even out the inner ear
the
equilibrium, I'm
crystals
sure.
are in there and they're moving around. They want you to reset them. We'll get more into it.
Come to the boxing
later.
gym. Guy will punch me in the face. He'll do the same thing
You
to
know
you.
when we're
You'll
going to
wobble.
talk about
That's a
that?
really good
We're
idea.
going to talk about that after the show at the Mass Speak with
Oh,
Diamond.
that's
we'll
a
be over
beautiful
there.
place.
Our first guest of the evening is on the air. Caller, are you there?
Yeah, sure, I'm here. I'm here, waiting.
Giovanni LaRocchia is on the air.
great
Giovanni!
Wait a minute. It's John Giovanni LaRocchia, amateur stand-up comic, veteran, semi-pro ball player. You want to add anything else to that?
A wonderful family,
A
man.
great grandpa.
Great grandpa.
We have Graham. I don't know, Dad. I know you're not watching, but Christina Marie is on the show tonight. Your granddaughter.
Hey, the voice. You mean Butterfly? My butterfly voice?
Butterfly's not here.
Yes, she's here tonight. So what we wanted to do with you, Giovanni, is we had a few guests that canceled.
Oh, boy.
So we
Got a
figured,
good
let me
show.
call
Go
my
ahead.
daddy.
Can we say hello to your phone? We didn't get a chance
Yes,
to
go
say
ahead.
hello to your
John's
phone.
here. Go ahead.
Hi, Mr. LaRocchia.
Tell him who you are.
John Santo on the air. With
Hey,
you.
Johnny Babe.
I'm wearing my Mets spring training gear in honor of our trip 3 years ago.
We'll see what happens with the Mets. I hope the pitching stands up. If the
Yeah, we're
pitching
talking-
stands up, we got a shot. If it don't, forget about it.
We went to spring training 3 years ago. My father, John,
My
and
first
myself.
time. I never went
and
before.
he never went either. And the two of them were like little kids, right? It
Yep,
was.
we ran
had
everywhere.
so much fun. So much
Because-
fun.
Yeah,
You
we had a
can't
lot
tell.
of fun. We had a snowstorm coming back.
That's right.
Yeah.
Right.
Did
That's
you?
right. Yeah, he stayed in the seat. I don't know how long we landed in Washington D.C.
But you know how I knew
We would have landed
that?
in LaGuardia.
Because I was
Hey.
waiting at LaGuardia for an hour and watching it on my phone and watch your plane turn right around to go back to Washington, D.C.
And we landed in
Hey,
D.C.
John,
Yes.
remember how I went through security like a pro?
Oh, he's going through security. He doesn't know what he's doing. He hasn't been on a plane in years, right? Because my mother didn't like to fly, so they never flew. So the guy looks at me, the TSA guy, and he says, "When was the last time he was on a plane?" I said, "When they dropped him over Germany."
Yeah, that wasn't very nice.
All right, big
I
guy.
went
So
through there twice. I had to go twice. I said to the guy, "Gee whiz, I'm sorry, I don't travel much." And the security guard said, "No kidding."
So now let's talk about your days back in the Army. Number one, I had written down a whole bunch of timelines here, and I just wanted to fill in the audience who's not a real historian, because sometimes I forget. And we have John Santo here, who's just as good. So John's going to fill in some of the dates. Number one, when did World War II end, John?
1945.
Then the Korean War was when?
50 to 53.
Oh, you're
Dad,
good.
now,
You're
when
good.
did you go over? When did you enter the military?
Who, me? 54.
When did Korean?
53.
53. That's right. Because we looked it up yesterday. Remember, Dad? And we.
I went in 54. I could have sworn that the armistice was signed in 54.
It might have been.
But
I think
maybe I'm mistaken.
Yeah,
I
but
think combat operations stopped in 53.
Wikipedia said 53, I think, the year
53.
before he went in.
That's
So
true. The combat started at 50, stopped in 53, but I think they signed in 54.
That could be true. I'm not sure when they signed.
okay, now you graduated high school. You went to Grover Cleveland in Queens, New York, on
Yeah.
Metropolitan Avenue, and you were working in the luncheonette. How old were you when you entered the military?
How long? Oh,
How
who you
old?
talking-
How old?
Who you talking to me?
No, I'm talking to the other guests. Yeah, I'm talking to you.
Oh, I'm sorry. Listen, no, I didn't do very good. I got out of high school. I didn't have any talent, so I worked for Sears, Lobrook, and then I joined the Army in '54, and they try to keep. And I went through basic training, which is very interesting when you're away from home the first.
Yeah.
And it's amazing how you make friends so fast. And we went through basic training, do things in basic training that you never
Wait, Dad,
did before.
Dad, can you hear me?
And that's how they train you. You
Dad-
become a man in a short time, and you make so many friends so fast.
Dad, can you hear me?
What?
Dad, how old were you though when you went into the military?
20.
Okay, and now you did not get drafted. Before you got drafted, you volunteered. You what was the term I used before?
Enlisted?
Enlisted. Why did you do that?
Okay, enlisted because at that time they were Who you talking? Go ahead.
I'm talking to you. When
Oh, at that time they were drafting left and right. So I figured about a year's time or two I had left. So I said, well, I might as well go in and get it over with. But I didn't realize what I had to go through. You know, when you don't go into the Army, you think you watch you think it's going to be great. But again, I'm not comparing to people that were in combat. Later on, I realized what the story was. But things I did in the Army, now I say to myself, did I really do that with live hand grenades, shooting 50 caliber machine guns, 4.2 mortars, rocket launchers? I did all that. And now I say to myself, was that me, you know? And it's something that you appreciate when you see the movies and the combat. People don't understand these poor guys. I was in one of the big training fields. It was a big park, and it was freezing cold. That they called us in because when they had scrambled eggs, it froze right on the dishes. The reason I'm saying that, I compare it to these poor guys that were in combat. How the heck could you fight a war when you're freezing cold like that?
And you know what, Dad, you know
I
what?
was so happy that I was in Berlin, Germany, surrounded by 16 divisions of Russians, that we were in a bad area, and I was so proud of that.
Listen, you know what's amazing is that, number one, you didn't go away to school. You went to college. We went into the military this first time you were away from home.
Yeah.
I didn't go away to college. I didn't do anything. And the first experience that I had of not even similar is when I went into the fire academy.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
Right,
it was semi-military, and they're yelling at you and all this, and I was a mama's boy. You know.
Absolutely.
So what I'm saying to you is, if you had to go into combat, you would have done it, because you would have rose to the occasion, and you would have done it just like, you know, the stuff that I never thought I could do as a fireman. And I look back now and I go, was that me?
He wouldn't have left the first day like I did in sleepaway camp. I left the first night. He's a real man. He's a man. He's a real man.
They train you. They actually train you so much. I did things in the Army that they weren't supposed to. They actually hit me with sticks. That we had trainees from the South that just came back from Korea, and they were Afro-American guys, and we were from New York. And you know the reputation New York and Jersey guys got. Mm-hmm. So I was watching one day, and I wasn't yelling hard enough, and the sergeant actually hit me with a stick.
Oh, is that where you got that discipline when we were
they
kids?
never did that, but they did that. But the thing that they train you when you're in combat, thank God I never went in, when a sergeant says something, you move. You move on the dot. So they train you for combat.
Right.
You know.
That you don't question any order, you just immediately move.
You better believe it. Now, John, you didn't go in the military, but you did something good. You went in the fire department.
Oh, thank you,
but
Daddy.
You never
First time
did
you ever
that
told me
before.
that.
That's training.
We have a moment here. I love it.
You couldn't stand height, and you did it. And it's more or less the same thing that I did, but a bigger sense. But to just visualize what we went through, these poor guys are going to combat.
Yeah, we watched that show. Right, Dad?
I'll tell you the truth. I seen the movie, The Post. I don't understand when they made that movie. I don't know if you saw it. It's about Vietnam vets and the story of 3 presidents that knew we weren't going to win the war in Vietnam, but they kept sending soldiers.
Right.
And the whole idea was to stop them where they were. Otherwise, they would have took over all of Korea, all of Vietnam, and the hell would we
we're getting
now?
I'm getting sidetracked a little bit because I want you to get your whole story out here. So you went overseas. You were in Germany, I think. Where else did you go before you went to Germany? Do you have any lighter stories, any funny
Fort
stories?
Pilmer, and they had thousands and thousands of troops over there.
Where?
Some went to Japan, some went to China. Not China, France. No, I'm sorry, France. They went to other parts. We went to Europe, and we went to Brevenhaven, and from there they sent people to France, Germany, and Italy, and they tell you to write down where you want to go. Of course, I put down Italy, and where'd they send me? To Germany. The worst part of Germany, there was a big map of Europe, and a big red dot in the middle was white, and that's Berlin, Germany. And me and another guy looked at it, and he said, "Oh, I hate to go there," and we went there.
And now you started to mention it before. You said you were surrounded by
16
Russians.
divisions of Russians. When we went to Berlin, they sealed the trains and pulled the shades down, and they stopped in the middle of the Russian sector, and these 6'6" Russians came out with bird guns to check the train, and then oh boy, was I scared. Then we went
before
into
they built the
Berlin,
Berlin
you
Wall.
know.
Now, to show you my history background, were we fighting the Russians at that time?
No, it was during the Cold War.
No,
so
no.
Oh, the Cold War.
It was the
Okay.
Cold War. So they had not built the Berlin Wall yet.
Okay.
They had basically taken over
that's-
part of.
That's right.
Okay.
We were occupation forces, occupation.
Right.
One main thing is to take care of the prison with all the Nazi criminals in it.
Oh, okay.
There was a prison in Berlin.
Right, sure.
We were,
Sure,
four
yeah.
countries
Still,
were in charge of that.
50.
And,
Yeah, 8 years
and you
later.
used to tell me that if anything went awry, so to speak, that nobody was coming in to get you guys.
Well, they used to grab soldiers once in a while and cross the east sector and keep them there for 2 or 3 days, then send them back. And then I was in one of the camps, and the camp that was on the border. The Russians used to line up the tanks and charge the border and stop and turn around just to harass us.
Interesting. You know, I feel.
Churchill was right. We should have just marched into Moscow. They should have kept
That's
going.
right.
We had the atomic bomb. They didn't have it yet. We should have wiped them out when we had the chance.
Whoa.
Well, Pat
Spoken like a Met.
It'd be a whole different world.
Spoken like a Mets fan, expecting
like
a bad season.
Spoken like the host of a comedy show again.
Yeah. Easy.
Bomb and peel.
Wait a minute.
We should have kept going, marching right into
That
Moscow.
is not John Santo. That is Donald Trump maybe saying that. Is that right?
My grandfather used to say that all the time.
The
He
president?
said Churchill said we should keep marching until we get to Moscow, and we should have.
Yeah.
We had atomic weapons, and no one else
Yeah.
did. We could have wiped them all out at that time, and had democracy all over the. All
President
over the world.
Trump. What do
It's
you,
a good
We
time for a
got problem
commercial.
in North Korea now. See,
All right.
if we didn't have that, if we didn't have the Korean War, imagine they would have took over all of Korea, and wouldn't have any troops on that continent.
Think about if the United States was the only nuclear superpower in the world, how different the world would be today. There would have been no Vietnam, there would have been no Korean War, there would have been no. The United States would have basically spread democracy every place, and the ones that didn't, well.
All right, so let's get back to Giovanni. Giovanni. All right, so you're over there. How long were you in the military? How long?
I went in January of '54 and got out in December of '55.
Now, was that your original commitment? You only had to do 2 years?
2 years, yeah. I signed up for 2 years. If I was going to go to college, not college, to learn some trade or whatever, like radio or something, you would have to sign for 4 years.
Oh, because they were going to pay for it. And you would have had some training.
Because they train you, and you're going to leave in 2 years. It's not good for the United States. So if they had to train you, you got to
Right.
stay in for 4 years.
They're investing in you. So you did some entertaining of the troops, though, did you not?
What?
Didn't you do some entertaining of the troops by playing baseball?
Well, yeah. Well, I didn't want to brag about who are you talking to, Giovanni?
No, I'm talking to the other guest. Yes.
Only guess.
nobody here played
the only-
baseball.
Come on.
We got too many Johns here. It's like you got to go to the bathroom. You don't have enough Johns. We got so many Johns here.
All right, listen, leave the jokes to the professionals.
But if that's not break. But I was a decent baseball player.
He was good.
And
Yeah,
I played
you were too.
baseball over there.
was a
And
pitcher.
thank God for that. And God was looking over me. I got a great job there, in charge of a gym, and under me was 3 German guards, civilian guards, and a woman. And I was in charge of this multi-million-dollar gym, and they trained in there. And there was a commander, a retired general, and a 20-year-old guy playing on the same basketball team. So I was in charge of them.
So you ultimately became in charge of the gym, so you basically had your own little sleeping quarters, right?
What?
You had your own little sleeping quarters in the gym?
Well, yeah, I was away. I was 2 blocks away from everybody else.
It was a nice
But
gig.
I was alone there. I was
saying.
I was out of the complex. I didn't ride home, but I was in a pretty bad area. I was away from everybody and all
Yeah.
by myself,
Yeah.
So the worst part about it is I couldn't get enough knackwurst.
All right, I was just going to ask you that. Final
I used to send
question.
a couple. I got friends with a young couple that used to go get me knackwurst every night.
I have
It's
one question
delicious.
for him.
Yeah,
Is that,
Grandpa.
is that his VFW? Mr.
Oh, yeah.
Larkia, is your VFW post 1153 or 1154? Did I remember it right?
What?
Your VFW post.
What was your VFW post number?
It's not VF, it's Catholic War
I mean,
Veterans.
Catholic War Veterans.
Catholic War Veterans.
What's the post
Yeah.
number?
Post 1172.
Big sponsor
Shit.
of Laughter Saves Lives. They see what we do with the veterans hospitals, and they've been a big
Yeah.
supporter, giving us some donations.
I thought I remembered it right. It was close.
All right, so my last question to you, all right, before you go, all right?
Go ahead.
Okay. Meals when you were over there. Okay, I know that the military meals, the Army meals are not the best, but you were allowed to go out at times and go on leave. What was the
number
best
here.
food you ate over in Europe when you were over there? What was your best meals?
Okay, John. You got to pick. You see, that's a tough. The reason I ran it, but I couldn't go out on leave because that's the one bad part of it. I was in charge of that gym 7 days a week, 24 hours a day. The only time I went out was twice. And the one place I only went was a pizzeria, and it was the worst pizza I ever tasted in my life. It took 2 years for me to get out of the Army to eat pizza again. So I wasn't freelance. I just had all angles. I was an agent for a guitar player. I sold jackets. You know, I had to keep busy.
Weren't you? What about weren't you a loan shark too? A little bit. Yeah. All right.
Do what you got to do to support the family. We
Yeah,
understand
well,
that.
listen,
We're all Italian here. We
listen.
know.
I donated that money to my son. I sent my son golf clubs home. My brother,
right.
I'm saying. Golf clubs and my mother lamps and yeah, I had to keep busy. So you know what? I learned?
interesting.
I could take care of myself. I took care of myself. And
Right, you did
the
what you had to
Army
do.
was very good. Everybody should go into the military. It makes you grow up, and you realize your capabilities in life. I took a rifle apart and put it together, which I never thought I could do. Now, to make a long story short, military
Never do
makes
that.
a man out of you, and if you don't make it, you're a bum.
All
Oh,
right.
I
Good,
like
that's
that.
a good closing.
Good close.
Listen.
I'm going to put that bumper sticker on my car. I like that because it just shows, Mr. LaRocchia, when people are put in a situation, what they can rise to if they have to.
Giovanni
That's right.
LaRocchia, retired Army and military hero. Military hero, Giovanni!
Okay, kid, thanks for calling, and I'll see you again.
All right,
Great
take care.
to hear from you, Mr.
Giovanni.
As
LaRocchia.
they say in Italy, Avita
All right.
Great to hear
Hang
from you,
up on that
Mr.
guy.
LaRocchia.
Before we get the
Okay.
other caller,
Good luck.
before we take the
I
other
love you
caller,
all. Bye.
I always talk to him about meals, and my father loves eggplant.
Oh.
Next time you see him, ask him where's the worst eggplant.
Eggplant.
Olive Garden. They get the little.
Oh,
they put it in
yeah,
Oh,
sure.
yeah.
Oh my God! Every time I'll see him, I'll go, and he forgets, and I'll go.
The worst.
We're gonna go to the Olive Garden. Oh, the Olive Garden!
No, that's a
Caller,
sacrilege.
you're on the air. Laughter saves lives.
Hey, I'm
Hell no.
Stephen Weaver there. I hear he's doing a good show tonight.
No. He's here, but you heard wrong.
Oh, how are you?
Who's calling?
Who is this? Is this
Hey, it's
Billy
from
Bingo?
13th Division. How are you guys doing?
Oh, how's
Who
it
is
going, man?
Who's it?
I have no idea.
So, well, you spoke over him.
You spoke over
Oh,
him.
I apologize. I apologize, caller. Who
I'm
are
sorry.
you?
Say it again.
It's Kevin Seaman from the 13th Division.
Oh,
Hey,
Kevin Seaman.
how are you? Thanks for calling in. Oh, were you watching the
I'm
show?
glad to.
Were you watching the show at all?
I was not watching it. I am at my daughter's softball practice. But I remember that it was Tuesday night, so I figured I'd give you guys a hello.
Softball practice, Kevin?
Indoor, I hope. Kevin, tell me indoor. Indoor
Oh,
practice.
of course, indoors.
Thank
That's
you.
Crazy. It's not hot.
Some of these teams are very dedicated.
Kevin
I
is
know, they're ridiculous. Travel sports is the most ridiculous thing going right now. Only because of the parents.
Yeah.
I coach Little League, and I'm lucky to have good parents, but I've heard the stories of other leagues that aren't so lucky.
I coached soccer for 21 seasons. I only
21
had
seasons?
only had one problem. One problem
doesn't
player.
Yeah, I was me. But he doesn't know the rules of soccer. So
No, I don't still. Kevin, you want to
That hurt.
Coach for 21 years, you don't know the rules?
No.
He doesn't know what offsides means.
No. All I know about soccer, Kevin, is I don't know. I coach soccer. All you ever do is you say, "Go out there, spread out."
He always
That
said
was my
spread
that was my
out.
whole game plan. Spread
That's
out.
He went spread
out.
out. He screamed pass.
Pass. Spread out.
And then he would just pick something on a
Have
girl
fun.
like girl with ponytail, run to the right.
Have fun.
Or like girl with pink cleats, run
let's
to the
do it.
left.
Wait, can I just ask you one
Hold on.
question?
Kevin's still on.
Oh yeah, he's still.
Kevin.
Kevin, what are you up to? Kevin, did you watch last week's show, or you been watching, or?
I did. I believe you had Paul Bond on.
Yes.
Oh, the great Paul Bond, yeah.
Yes.
And then, of course, I saw Jesus Christ himself came there onto the show.
yes. On that note,
Kevin Shea, yes.
Kevin, thanks for calling
Oh,
in.
that's right. That was his name.
That
I'm
was his-
sorry. I thought it was Jesus with everything he did.
I wish I was on that show last week. That
All
was
right, Kevin, we have another
amazing.
guest coming on. Please keep watching, listening. We love to have you call in again or be on maybe one night.
I hope so. I actually donated my kids to two guys from Tajikistan just to try and top what Kevin O'Shea did there.
Thank you, Kevin. Have a good night.
Kevin, you are too
Have a
much,
good night.
buddy.
Let's get Tony
Take care,
out here.
guys.
What a generous man you are.
What's that? Oh yeah, let's run. Thanks, Bobby. We're gonna run the commercial. We'll be right back with Tony, and we'll talk about some home improvements.
Only a fireman. All right, Kevin.
See if
When someone is choking, brain damage can occur after just 4 minutes. Did you know every 5 days a child dies because of a choking accident?
My name is Art Lee. I invented LifeVac to protect my family. LifeVac is an easy-to-use suction device with a special one-way valve to help save a choking victim.
I care for my dad, who's prone to choking. Having LifeVac in my home gives me peace of mind.
Protect your family. Buy LifeVac now.
Thank you, Daddy.
Call 1-877-LifeVac or visit lifevac.net.
move it a little bit.
Steve, can you just
Hey, we're back.
Hey, we're back.
Laughter Saves Lives live.
Oh, the freaking leg of the chair.
John Santa would like to talk about how this building will burn down one day to bring us back to destruction. And we have Tony. Tony, pronounce your last name again? Ashmary. Is your microphone on? No. Tony Ashmary here. We figured
Hi,
we'd talk
Tony.
a little bit about, change the topic completely and talk a little bit about homes and home improvements and things that could be done in your home for you homeowners out there.
Not blowing up homes.
Not blowing up homes. I met Tony at the Massapequa Diner one night, and we were talking about. Tony works for. We're gonna say Tony works for Sears, and the reason I bring that up is we're trying to get them for a sponsor. So Tony works for Sears, and he's a salesman.
Yes.
He's a salesman. So he deals with all kinds of home repairs, and he kind of sets you up for. And then somebody else comes in and does all the hard work, and Tony sits back with a cup of coffee. Nice and clean. Tony, actually, Sears did my roof. Tony hooked me up, and they did a wonderful job.
Yes.
It looks great.
Exciting. It looks
People,
great, right?
people on
Spend
Facebook
a
are
lot of
very
time on
excited that Tony's here.
That Tony's here.
Tony has a
Are
lot
they
of
really?
followers. Tony may be one of our regulars.
It's a big deal.
Wow. Oh my God! It
Yeah.
exploded.
Exploded.
See?
So
People
now,
are actually watching now.
Tony is good. Tony is good about telling you, like he can come into your home and tell you what needs to be replaced. He came into my home, was sitting in my dining room, okay, it was raining, and there was water dripping on his head. And he said, John, I'm going to tell you this from my experience. What do you think he told me?
You need a roof.
You need
roof,
windows.
baby?
Was that unbelievable?
Unbelievable.
I'm good.
So-
He's that good?
I'm that good.
Very,
got our
Tony, you're
rookies very
perceptive. You are
smart.
perceptive.
Yes.
Can you help me get rid of my wife's ugly 1970s camouflage curtains that look like they're from the Peruvian Special
He
Forces?
can help you with the windows, though, I bet.
I
Can
can help
you
you
not?
with the windows.
So if I feel cold air coming in while I'm sitting on my couch, probably need insulation.
I
What do
would
you think?
probably close the window.
Close the window first.
No, when the window's closed.
Oh, see, when you see what I'm saying?
He's
this
good.
man is
good.
bright.
See,
That
He's
good.
got
Very
insight.
perceptive.
He's got
If
insight.
the window's open, close. If the roof has water coming down,
New roof.
Good night, everybody,
But if my
right? Good
window is
night.
closed and
Quit
I
while you're
still-
ahead.
that's it. I'm done.
Good
I
night.
still feel a draft. Do I need insulation?
Yes.
Yes. Do you have insulation in your
Do you have
walls?
insulation?
Do you know? See,
How would
a
I
lot of
know?
people don't even know.
Proper insulation. Outside walls should have insulation.
Of course,
all
but
the
But
time.
how would I know if I wasn't there when the house was built?
Right?
Drill a hole in the sheetrock.
So,
Just
yeah.
poke
And now-
around. Put your finger in
Okay,
there.
now-
Put whatever you want in there.
What
You
if
can
he
feel the
doesn't have
draft, too. You
insulation?
can
Yeah.
feel it. You know
What if
it's
he doesn't
cold.
have insulation?
You can.
This is a great question to start off with.
Right.
Seriously,
Go ahead, Tom.
the old-time insulation, can they shoot that stuff in?
Yeah, they have blown insulation. You got to put holes in the walls
But that
Put
little
that
holes,
in there.
little
Yeah,
holes,
little
Little
like
holes,
it's like
not
a
the
little
whole
holes.
sheetrock.
No,
It's a spray
little
foam
holes,
type
yeah,
thing?
exactly. And it just fills up
great
each.
question.
There's beams in the wall, so you got to fill up each
Tone-
channel and
had
move
no
to the next
idea.
one.
I
fill
feel
it
Tone,
up
you'll
like that.
appreciate this.
No,
You know,
I don't-
The men, the shop talk. The shop
Yeah,
You know,
talk.
he's
I just ripped the
men
wall
talking,
down
yeah.
in my new place. All right,
Yeah.
you're gonna like this. You'll appreciate this.
Yeah.
Roxol. I put Roxol in there.
What's
Really?
rocks?
That's the.
Tell
Wow.
them. Tell them.
I
Did
put-
you hear
Stuff,
that?
yeah.
I did it for soundproofing because I put the TV loud,
Yeah.
and also
But you
because.
live alone.
Yeah, but I don't want to bother the neighbors. I'm respectful.
Oh, okay.
And plus, I'm
I'm
doing
sorry.
jumping jacks
Is
at
that
4
the
in the
only?
morning.
That's
Yeah.
all. You have the TV loud, so you don't want
I
to
do
bother.
TV loud, and you know
Is
I
there
keep
any
late
other
hours.
yelling and screaming that goes on in there?
Moaning.
Only me,
Anything?
but I'm by myself
All right.
usually. You know.
John, someone on Facebook said, keep the draft, just get rid of your wife.
Oh, that's
Whoa.
terrible.
Like you said,
That's
like you
terrible.
know,
That's Steve
you
Jericho.
said that you know what needs to be replaced. I was gonna
Exactly.
say,
Oh, I was
did
gonna-
you
okay.
say replace the wife?
Catch
Keep
on,
the
my
house,
first
replace
time
the wife.
on.
That's not right. Now,
He got me on that one.
but that was a
Keep the
great
draft,
first
get
question.
rid
I
of the
bet
wife.
you, because a lot of people buy houses. Isn't that what? Shouldn't the inspector know that though? If he
Take the
inspects the
gun,
home,
take the cannolis.
Wouldn't the
Yeah.
inspector know that when he inspects a home if there's insulation in the walls?
Yeah, they should do everything. Before you buy the home, they check
They should know that.
everything.
Now, how long is insulation good for? Before it has to be replaced?
20 years, really, because in the walls, it kind of drops down. If you take out that with the sheetrock,
Yes.
How
you see
many
the insulation
people
fall.
replace their insulation?
I go into Brooklyn sometimes,
Yeah.
and I look at walls, and they have newspaper from 1920s.
That's right. Yeah.
wow.
Really?
I use this insulation, and they'll just crumble it up
Uh-huh.
and put it in the walls, and you'll take down those walls and find newspapers from the 1800s.
No, is this part of your
Really?
job, or you just go into Brooklyn sometimes and
I just go into Brooklyn and
Read
look
old
at people's
newspapers.
walls. Yeah.
Stay out of Bay Ridge. You might find
That's a
other
great-
things in the walls, if you know what I mean.
Oh,
You know.
you guys, I've been in jobs where I'm sitting with a laptop and there's a roach going right across my
Really?
laptop. Deep Brooklyn, yeah.
Deep
and there's-
Brooklyn.
Yeah, and roach going right across, and you try to ignore it. There are customers looking at it, and I'm looking at it, and we just
Hey,
You know
but-
what?
Can I ask
But-
you a question about crawl spaces?
yes.
So I have a cape,
Yep.
and I have basically in the upstairs I have like these shelving units that come out, and then I have my the roof is there.
Right.
Should I insulate the roof part or just insulate the wall facing the roof?
No, the wall. You mean like up on that roof like that?
peak?
Yeah, you
That
don't
would be
need.
the peak?
You don't really need
That's
it.
what I have.
Yeah, you don't really. It's nice because it'll insulate the attic, but you really want to keep the heat in the house. The insulation's on the floor
Right.
of
Right.
the
Like I put the
attic.
boards in and I
He's
Right.
good. Tony's
so the
good.
heat
He's
doesn't
good.
go
He's
up through the house. It doesn't want to escape.
then-
You want to keep the warmth in the
Well,
house.
should I insulate the wall that faces that part?
No, unless you want to keep the attic warm. That's it. If you use it, then yeah. If you have
Ma-
stuff
ma-
up there
listen,
and you go up
can-
there
if
once in a while,
It's
it's
storage.
fine.
Yeah.
If you
Yeah.
want to talk about your house a little more, maybe
Yeah,
you can do it
yeah.
in the show.
We'll have a different show with your wife.
Maybe you can do
the
it after
draft.
the show.
I was just saying because.
Can I tell you about
Get a free estimate. What a free
Can I
estimate
ask you
right
about
now?
crawl spaces? That's usually something a serial killer asks, you know?
Can you believe
I ask you about
Pat
crawl
I
Marone?
told
Very-
my wife
very-
in the crawl.
Very selfish, John.
Can you believe Pat Marone
Hey.
just videoed in? Like he just
Cool.
We got a phone
zoomed
call.
in.
You're on a phone
Tony, how
call.
long you been with
Hold on one second.
I'm sorry.
Laughter Saves Lives Live. You're on the air.
Hey, how you doing?
Patty.
Oh, nice of you to join us.
How you doing, Patty?
Hey, listen, let me tell you what happened. All right.
Patty's
Mike.
22. Patty, 30 seconds.
Huh?
Come on. Let me tell you what happened. You're okay?
I'll tell you real quick. I
Yeah.
got an oil change 2 weeks ago with Chrysler, right?
Yep.
And now today my engine light goes on, but
Nope.
when I got my oil change, I smelled the oil and the air was burning off. I got no oil in the car.
Oh
They
my
left the
God.
cap. Did they leave the cap off?
No, they must have did something when they did the oil
Absolutely.
change to Chrysler. I had to bring it to Chrysler.
Oh no.
That's why I couldn't be on. That's why I couldn't be on the show. Sorry.
You know,
No,
it's,
you know why I think you couldn't be on the show? I think one of us opened up your oil cap so you couldn't make it here, maybe.
hey Pat, you know who does great work on cars is Sears.
Sears
Automotive.
I was just
all
about
day.
to get a free deck, and you interrupted.
Pat, the engine didn't seize or
Free
anything, did it, buddy?
insulation.
You're okay?
The engine's okay though, right? That's didn't
No, it
seize or
didn't
anything.
seize. It didn't seize. So I went down there and I know one of the guys in the shop. He let me put my car in the shop and let's hopefully fix it tomorrow.
Yeah.
All right, Patty. Sorry you couldn't make it tonight.
They know you're a celebrity, right? They know to do it right away. You got to tell them you're a celebrity.
Hopefully they know that.
Yeah, tell them you're on the radio show and that you're a big celebrity, and they should give you the celebrity treatment. That's ridiculous.
No, I told the guys I know Tony F. Farms.
There you go. All right, Patty. We're glad you're okay. Thanks for calling in. We got Tony only for a few more minutes here.
I'm trying to get a free deck.
Pat, you need any help? Give us a call, brother.
Great job on the Johnny Mac show the other night. Thank you for.
Yeah, great job, Pat. That was a lot of fun the other night.
Great job.
Thank you. I'll see you guys later.
Good night, the
Good night,
handsome
Pat.
Patty Marone, chef of the future. So let's get back to the
Questions.
let's get back to questions.
Let's talk about
for Tony.
siding.
Siding,
need
yes.
siding.
I need
Wait,
siding.
hold on. What do you have? Extra siding laying around?
John again.
Do you have extra
I
siding
have a couple
laying
of
around?
boxes laying around. Need to get rid of
Are they
them.
outside?
Siding.
They're in the
Come
home.
I have them in the
come
car.
with me back to my
Yeah.
house.
Let's
on the way
talk
home.
about siding.
Let's talk about
Go ahead.
siding.
What should we know about siding?
Vinyl siding. Don't
Okay.
get aluminum. Don't get plastic. Don't get anything but vinyl. Vinyl
Vinyl.
lasts forever.
Right.
Doesn't need to be power
Hey.
washed. Make sure
Does
you
it
get
need to be power washed?
No, biggest mistake. Everybody power washes.
I
their-
don't power wash
their
anything. You ever
siding.
see the dirty
Yeah.
ass I have?
What
Yes.
should you do to clean your siding?
I had my
Just
teeth-
A hose, soap, and water, and that's it.
I
That's
didn't
it.
know. I swear, Tony, I didn't know Sears
Does
did all this.
I know
Yeah.
a lot of people do. They've only been around 138
Right.
years. That's it.
130.
They're just
do all of
catching
this.
on
They
now.
should
Yeah.
advertise on this show.
Yeah, they
so
don't
that
Yes.
you
Should
can get
sponsor.
That's true.
They should sponsor.
We shouldn't be mentioning their names.
Here's what I wanna
I was
do.
going to say Steers.
Don't- you
'cause
know.
I wanna, you know.
Oh, I can't
give
say
it the
Sears?
free- You
I
can say Sears.
I have a
Sears,
I have
listen.
a question from Facebook.
Okay, Sears, we would love to have you sponsor. Let's have a meeting at the Massapequa Diner.
Minimum is
But now it's Big
$100,000.
Danny.
question-
You got a Big Danny.
Question from
Big Danny?
Facebook.
Danny.
I
Yes.
don't know if this is more for the firefighters or for Sears.
All right, go ahead.
But Carol Aguilar.
Hi, Carol.
Hi, Carol.
Hi, Carol.
Hi, Carol.
Wants to know. She says, so here's the question.
Yes.
How do you dispose of an old fire extinguisher?
Excellent question, Carol.
You want to take that one,
Yeah,
Steve?
throw it in the garbage. Next question.
I will tell you how.
Yes.
Look it up on Google, okay? Honestly, you know, I guess if it's not charged anymore, which is, you know,
Which means it's not full.
and it's not dangerous to anybody,
Layman's terms.
I don't know. You know, water
If it's
extinguisher.
not pressurized,
Yeah, if
just,
it's not pressurized.
Yeah.
You know,
I would call a fire extinguisher store. Seriously, there's these stores.
yeah, they're going to charge it though.
Yeah, they may take it. They may
You're-
take
no,
it
but the
from
town- a lot of towns have
Neither one of the
recycling.
firefighters knows the freaking answer.
I know.
We
I
don't-
know the
we don't
Oh, wait a
float it
minute.
out.
Oh, or you could do the John
Most-
did is use it as a hood ornament for 20 years. So in the 20-year, you know.
Most
Life.
towns, I don't know where you live. If
Carol
you live in
says thanks a lot.
She lives in Jersey.
Sorry,
Jersey,
Carol.
South Jersey.
Oh, we
I
don't.
know.
We don't
Jersey
deal.
sucks. I don't know how Jersey is.
President Trump, do you like
We
Jersey?
First
just
of all,
lost all of our Jersey
Jersey
viewers.
is so terrible.
Anyway, back to Sears.
Back to Sears.
Yeah,
yes.
this is my moment. I got.
Oh yeah.
2
yeah.
minutes.
So what else? What else
So
is
wait,
Sears?
what else you want to say about vinyl siding?
Is that it?
Was that it, or-
You always use a 3/4 insulation. Those guys give you the white styrofoam, the really
Oh,
thin one.
you
Get the
lost me.
3/4 insulation.
All right.
Ah, tricks of
Always
the trade.
3/4
Good,
behind
good
the
to know.
siding.
Now, if
Yeah.
somebody's putting in new vinyl siding, they want to put that insulation
First,
first,
yeah.
and then the siding.
Over it and then the siding.
Now,
Yeah, you don't
what
want to
about-
put the insulation over the siding because then you really can't see it.
Right. I'm not that stupid, but once you do that, do you need anything on the interior wall, or is that all
No,
of your insulation?
just to insulate. You don't need Tyvek. You don't need NC. You put that 3/4 insulation. It's polystyrene and siding,
That's
and
it.
that's it.
Tony, if we put
Let's
vinyl,
go back up to the roof a second. When I
Yeah.
did my roof,
Yeah.
you had told me that make sure they do
Oh, you
this.
got 5 layers. Yeah, on the
He
roof
does.
is a whole different thing.
Yes.
You have 5 layers. You get ice and water shield. You get a drip edge. You get a starter shingle,
He's good,
and then
he's
you
good.
get the shingles.
Because you can have somebody
right.
do it
he's
who's
got vertigo, not shingles.
Meant
He
to
already
be.
had.
If
he
you
had shingles.
Yes, he
If
had.
you wait, hold on.
Okay.
You can get somebody who does the roof. It's like this kind. Oh, we could do it for this much cheaper, and they may only put
They can
3 of
put-
those layers.
They can put newspaper
Right.
and whatever.
Yeah.
There's no inspection on roofs. There's nobody walking around. Whatever you
Be
pay
careful.
How do you
for.
know
And
you
you'll
did-
only
how do
know
you
when
know
it
you-
rains.
Get it
right?
at Sears at
price.
least.
You'll know when it
What?
rains if
But
they did
yeah,
a good
you'll
job.
know how long it lasts by the price.
By the price,
Interesting.
yeah.
Yeah, you get what you pay for.
But the
right?
good
Yeah,
part is they
exactly.
guarantee like you. Not
Sears
only
guarantee.
Sears, I'm sure, but
You have a lifetime warranty. Yep. On the
so if you
roofs,
get a
the
guy and he goes, "Oh, I
windows.
could do it for $1,500 cheaper," and you're not getting that lifetime warranty, is
That's
it worth
the big-
it?
no,
you know?
I
My
would
Sears
say no.
people better appreciate this. My boss Dan
Yeah.
appreciate this.
Now, when you put
I
sod
love
down,
Sears.
green
Great
side
store.
up, right?
Green side up.
Green
Yes.
side up.
Sod.
He's
Sod.
probably gonna put the insulation before. Obviously, you put the insulation.
All right, we have a
I love
Facebook
Sears.
Well,
question.
yeah, they,
What's the other question?
What do
they
you got?
said that, you know, your
Yep.
friend, I'm assuming,
Good.
again,
Steve.
said that if you need
Steve.
to dispose of an
Yes.
old fire extinguisher, you should just put it in an uninsulated crawl space.
Or do what I do with
Somebody's a freaking
If you're
comedian.
not sure, put it in your neighbor's garbage at 2 in the morning.
Now,
You can always
most
do
towns,
that.
in all seriousness, most towns have a recycling program
Yes.
for electronics and everything else. I'm sure you could either call them, and when they have those, dates which are quarterly, you can just put it with that.
Actually,
They'll
she
take it.
called. She just Googled it and just bring it to your fire department. So
See, and also you can bring it to
Not,
the fire
not a
department.
volunteer fire department. We don't give a shit.
That was
about
our next. That was our next
bring it to the
answer.
volleys.
They don't care about the
We knew the answer. We're just trying to fill the time on this show tonight.
Yes.
That's all.
Tony only has so much information to give. We have to fill
it.
the rest of the
Tony,
time.
how long have you been with Sears?
5 years.
5 years. Excellent.
5 years.
They-
Been doing it for a while.
And how many?
If somebody wanted to call you, what series are you based out of?
Call me. I don't work in the stores. No store. I work.
He works on the road.
On the road.
Oh,
in
really?
the Melville office. My office is in Melville.
He's
on
never
Route
there.
110.
Sure,
Tell
yeah.
them how to get in contact with you.
I know.
Call me, 516-972-7996. You need anything. Roofing, siding, windows, front doors, kitchen, HVAC, central air conditioning, boiler. Enough?
Storm doors?
Bathroom,
Lap dance,
storm doors.
Front doors, front doors.
Lap dances.
Duck
Lap
cleaning?
dances.
Duck-
My
Duck
girlfriend's
cleaning?
watching.
She
You know
is.
her.
Duck
Yes,
cleaning?
and she gives the
She
lap
says
dances,
so
no?
much helpful information, Tony.
Duck cleaning, Tony? Duck cleaning?
I gotta
No, but insulation in the attic.
Okay.
Duct cleaning, when you install a new AC, we'll put duct cleaning.
I need a storm door.
All right, so let's go back. I'm buying a new house, Tony. All right, let's say
got
I'm
it.
buying a new house. Okay, I'm going to bring Tony with me. I'm going to buy a new house.
Yes.
What's the first thing that I should look at when I'm buying a house that I should say? I'll give you an example. My son bought a house
The neighbors.
that was redone and sold, like to flip. Okay,
Right.
and now we're finding all these
Yeah.
little things. The windows are a mess in the house. So if I'm going into a house, what's the first thing that I should look for to go? All right,
Roof and heating system.
right.
Two most expensive things. Your boiler doesn't work. That's fried. You move in and it's done. It could cost you $15,000. The roof too. Those are two most expensive things. Siding you could see.
Right.
You know if it's bad, if it's dry rotted, you know.
What
the
about
roofs
plumbing?
you'd never know.
What about the plumbing system?
Plumbing, yeah, same
Electric?
thing with the whole boiler system. The inspector, you open that panel in the garage and you look at the wires that come in one way and that way.
Right.
And some guy.
Yeah.
Those are more common things to see. The
Right.
boiler, you don't know.
Right.
You know
Does
what?
Sears do
It could be
heating
on its
systems?
last like yeah.
Do you guys offer contracts on heating systems?
Yes, you can get that. You can get a home warranty from Sears. It doesn't.
taking
No, seriously.
I need a
You can get-
I'm with you.
Why can't I get it? If I
I'm
need
with
it?
you, buddy. I'm with you.
You can get a home warranty from Sears for
Right.
$69 a month.
Jeez.
We'll cover everything in your house: your washer and dryer,
You're kidding
your
me.
refrigerator, your stove, your microwave, your heating system, your central air conditioning, everything for
Will you cook for us?
Sorry.
everything but a lap dance.
Sorry, Walmart. I'm not calling you now.
I had no idea that Sears
So
did that.
$69.99 will cover it, and if they can't repair it, they'll replace it. Doesn't have to be from Sears. Doesn't matter how
What was
old
that
it is.
price?
Wow.
Even the gas heating system.
Anything.
How many
We'll cover
Sears
everything.
salesmen have been on a show this good or popular than this?
There's
Anybody?
there's-
One.
First of all, there's
Oh, there?
5 people watching.
Yeah.
Relax.
No,
One.
I don't know. There's
Your boss better
15,000
appreciate this.
people watch.
only 5 people.
We're
15,000.
simulcast around
Mr.
the
Sears,
world.
can we say your boss's name? What do we call him, buddy?
Danny.
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 Write the check to Laughter Saves Lives Foundation. Laughter Saves Lives Foundation.
It's a
We do
$25,000.
Put him on the
free
spot.
comedy shows for veterans.
Quick question.
Yes.
I apologize.
Yes.
I think it's relevant.
You need
It's
something?
relevant, yes, because this is great. We have him here. We're
Yeah, I know.
we're picking his brain.
We're supposed to be talking
Tony.
general. You guys are.
I'm
talking
sorry.
about
No,
your
but
own
this is
home.
for
Yeah,
this
but
is-
it's applicable
This
to
is for the
everybody
viewing
else.
audience. This is showing what Tony does. It's the winter time.
a sponsor.
Okay?
Yes.
It's the
Heating
winter
system's
time.
free.
Not
I
yet.
got in my car. Right?
What?
Got about 70-something thousand on it. Same, I believe it's the same battery. I might be wrong though. A little drag when I started up yesterday on the battery, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Signifies maybe it's time.
It's,
A little
Well,
drag.
he does
For the
home
battery?
Do the cars?
Sears is known for their
Yeah, but he's
batteries.
not
young
They
Sears.
are,
man.
but I'm in the home improvement.
He's the home
No, but he
improvement.
knows. Tony knows everything.
Hook it up to your house and then they can help you.
So the battery didn't start right away? Yeah.
Yeah. Do you park the car in your living room?
It took
'Cause then I
Tony
can help
5
you.
years to learn all of this about
This
the house.
all 5 years.
No,
That's
but
it.
except
Now
for that, the
working on
crossface
cars.
question, I think every question I've asked Tony has been relevant to the vast
I
majority.
agree.
Yeah.
No, I agree. I'm just
By
supposed
the
to
way,
be
I live in a
bold.
trailer. I live in a trailer. I live in a trailer. That's
Even the
why I'm
wife
asking.
question was relevant to most people
Yes.
out there.
Even
Yes.
the wife question.
And everybody
I
knows
came
about
prepared.
John's wife.
I knew Tony was coming. I came prepared.
Yes, of everything.
What about the
All right,
raccoon
ask me.
issue?
Okay, so now we've gone to the roof. We've gone to the siding.
Siding.
Right.
Let's go to the
what-
basement.
We should talk about frozen pipes because it's the time of the year with the
Well,
temperatures.
again, he's not a plumber.
Well,
That's
a lot
not your
of,
area,
we
right?
do get a lot of no heats because boilers
Leave
go
the
bad.
water running. That's what they always
And
say.
we get leave the hot water running.
water running.
But a lot of times we get a lot of no heats this week. Last week when it's 20 degrees,
Right.
people I have no heat in the house. I need it right now.
Frozen
know?
pipes, right?
Frozen pipes. The heat shut down. Once the heat
But
shuts
you guys
down,
aren't plumbers. What would you do then?
no, we come in, we change it. We could fix the pipes. We put in the new boiler system. Put everything new. You need that. That's
You
no
should.
heat.
And do you go in there and you say to him, there's pipes, and if you had a new roof, you'd be warmer. Do you
If
try
you
that
have-
line? Do
if
you
you-
try that
you
on
try.
the
What?
That's combo.
And-
That's
and
called comboing.
I know.
And
Got
if the
upsells.
pipes-
And the heating
And
system.
if the pipes were insulated, they'd be less susceptible
Yeah.
to freezing.
Why
Very
your
good,
boiler
John,
goes
very
bad?
good.
Why your boiler goes bad faster? Bad windows, bad insulation. That boiler's kicking on 20
Right.
times a day instead of 10 times a day. So you're draining the life out of the boiler trying to keep the house.
good
The
stuff.
boiler's doing its job,
Right.
heating the house up. But if your windows are drafty and your house is drafty, that boiler's going to come on 25
Sure.
times a day. You're shortening the life.
I need
Of
windows.
Like your heart.
Right.
You know, your heart's just pumping away, and you're doing everything bad to it. It's just going to keep.
Now the
pumping till
pipes.
it just
That's
doesn't
not going to
pump
stop
no
us from eating
How long
French
did you
fries
have
at the
that?
Massapequa
Wait, hold
Diner
on.
after.
He was getting to that heart reference. He had that in him. You see how he went right
He's
there?
good.
That was beautiful.
No, he's good.
That was
But
beautiful.
how could people
Seamless.
prevent their pipes from freezing?
The hot water running.
Yeah, insulation,
water
outside
running.
insulation,
Insulation.
and
Oh,
the
and
walls.
it-
Yeah, they have electrical wires
I know.
sometimes that they wrap around wires that are very sensitive, and you plug it in, and it keeps the pipes warm.
Keeps it warm, right?
Keeps them warm. You put those, what the hell is it called? Black
Licorice.
Like a
thing
sleeve.
that goes like a sleeve that
Right.
goes over
Plastic.
the pipes.
Yeah.
Keep the heat. If you don't have any of this stuff until you can get Tony in,
I
Linoleum.
said
keep
black.
the
He's just
heat
going over.
up because the heat has to get into the wall. So keep the house at least 65.
You could run your
70
hot
degrees.
water very, very lightly. Just drip it so
Drip
the
it,
water,
right.
because hot water freezes faster than cold water. Remember that? Do you
Yep,
know that?
yep,
Yes.
Yep.
You
Hot
leave that
water,
in the cold
freezes faster
Than
than
cold
cold
water.
water. I did not know that.
Yeah. So
Why
leave
is
your hot-
that? Because its
I
freezing
don't
point
know.
is the same.
Science?
Yeah,
Its freezing point is the same.
There's got to be
I
some
don't-
There is.
chemistry in
Hot
there.
water
Yeah.
freezes faster than cold water.
I-
Your hot water pipe will freeze faster than your
Right.
Your
cold
hot water
pipe.
pipe now will freeze faster than your
Right.
cold water
Yeah.
pipe. All right, we
Because
got to
you're
look this.
creating condensation on the outside of the pipe, which will freeze.
Oh, you.
Oh,
You're good,
look at
baby.
you.
The president knows everything.
Mic
Good
drop.
one.
Mic drop. All right, so let's see. We've covered. We have about 3 minutes left.
Okay.
So we
By
covered the
the
roof.
Stupid am I?
Windows?
We had Giovanni on tonight. Let's just go back for 1 second before we get cut off. I think Giovanni, my dad, did a very nice job.
Excellent.
Yes.
Yeah,
Of
very
explaining,
informative. Interesting.
With no hearing, he did a very nice job explaining what it was like back in the day to be he wasn't drafted, but he what was the word again?
He enlisted.
Enlisted. Thank you, Steve. And went overseas. And I always find that when somebody, I always say to a military guy, right? Thank you for your service. I
Yes.
always say that.
You
And
can say
a
it to
lot
the
of
Sears
times,
guys too.
who?
Sears guys.
Sears guys too. Thank you for your service. They both wear uniforms, and a lot of times they'll say to me, "Well, if I'm wearing a fire department, thing, oh, thank you for your service." And I always feel uncomfortable with that, and I'll tell you why. Because they left their families. They went overseas. I went home every night as a fireman. Every other night, if I worked 24 hours, they were by themselves. I mean, you had your buddies, you made your buddies, but without the support. So I always say thank you. But for our military guys from back then and today, we're very, very lucky that there are people that are interested in going in the military and do a wonderful job.
Yes.
And also that people who want to work at Sears.
It's also an all-volunteer force now. There's no draft, so it's an all-volunteer force.
That's correct. An all-volunteer
Really
force.
quickly,
Yes.
I'm guessing, Diane, I know you Googled this.
Oh.
Sure.
Not the
Are you saying
extinguisher.
Diane wouldn't have
Not the
this knowledge?
extinguisher again.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
100% sure. I'm 100% sure Diane Googled
Hurry up,
this.
we're almost done. Is it about
Diane
the...
says warm water evaporates rapidly, and since this is an endothermic process,
Good
Yes.
word.
it cools the water, making it freeze more quickly. Thanks, Google, Diane.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's been an interesting show. Tony, thank you for coming on and
Very
sharing some of that.
Yeah, great. Tony.
Thank you,
Thanks.
guys.
Can I
Share
say
your
one
contact
thing?
Yes,
You
go.
See the man right there?
Yes,
Can I mention
Bobby.
His name, Bobby?
Yes.
I know him since 8th grade.
How?
I walked in and I ran into him and I go, "What the hell are you doing?" He goes, "I own the place." And
Bobby owns a
Bobby
studio.
Lucera.
Bobby owns- yeah.
He DJ'd my Halloween party in 9th grade.
Nice.
Wow.
He was the DJ at my Halloween
Did you remember
party.
him? You remember him?
As soon as I walked in, he goes, "What are you doing here? You on the show tonight?" I go, "Yep." And I haven't seen him in 20 years.
Ladies and gentlemen, good night. See you at the...
Wait.
What?
Tony, share your contact information.
Massapequa Diner.
Sears, 516-972-7996. Free estimates, and you get the CD.
Heading over to the Massapequa Diner, people.
We're slapping
Good night.
hands,
Laugh to save lives.
popcorn and peanuts.
Good night.
We're working the
That
stands.
went well.
Pink cotton candy, love on a stick. He's chasing the beer. The trick of the lips, play
Oh,
ball,
because of the fireworks.
play ball.
She's kissing. Who's the girl?
Roll up the bases and smack it right over the wall.